we were definitely out of character tonight. Didn't have the chip on our shoulder we need to have. Didn't play with the toughness, the physical effort, the want to that we've developed our identity around. And we're not a good enough team to just show up and think that teams are just going to let us get the victory. So certainly a disappointing effort, out of character for our guys for how they played lately, for sure. Very disappointing, but credit to them. They came in here and physically they really wanted to win. Their spirit was a lot better than ours, and that's very humbling to admit.
Questions for players first, please.
Isaiah, this is the second time this season that a new low has been scored in this building's history. I mean, where do you guys just go from here on offense?
Continue to work on ourselves individually, and then just figuring out what shots are right for us. How we're gonna get through different defenses while running our sets. Not letting defenses, dictate us. Still finding a way to get catches where we want and shots where we want, fouls, paint touches and things like that.
Isaiah, beyond missing shots, when you guys have nights like tonight offensively, what goes wrong?
Maybe a few rushed ones, and just nights like that on offense, you kind of just gotta hang your hat on defense, and you can't let missing shots, like we can't let missing shots dictate our effort on defense.
So, I mean, is it the type of shots you guys are taking? Is it just getting pushed off from the basket, or I guess more than anything?
A little bit of both. Maybe we get pressed. Maybe we see some not going down, start to panic, get outside of ourselves. But yeah, we'll work on it.
Tyrese, as the playmaker of the team, which you are, the game was allowed to be very physical, especially on the perimeter. How did that, if any, disrupt your game?
I feel like it didn't really, from the score, it disrupted us. But for me personally, I feel like I was kind of able to get into our offense. It was just finding the right shots throughout our offense. I feel like I've been seeing that pressure the whole, conference season, even the whole season. So, I wouldn't say it really threw me off, but it's just what can we get out of that and what can we do when they're pressuring everybody.
Anything further for the players? Very good. Thank you.
TJ asked you yesterday if you guys are playing your best basketball of the season. Obviously, tonight was not that, but what signs did you see that this is more blip than, harbinger of further issues?
Yeah, I think it's certainly more blip. Our guys, again, they played mostly zone. We don't see that a lot in our league. We were prepared. We practiced for it. We knew that last time we played down there, we were able to get what we wanted against their man defense, I felt like, especially late. They wanted to disrupt us. They did that. Like Isaiah said, we've got to continue to get penetrating catches against defenses, man or zone, and then we've got to play for each other. And I believe what happened was, for us, certain shots didn't fall early. We let that impact our mental makeup, our body language, and our want to, and then we pressed from there. And we're not an extremely gifted offensive team. We've got to hang our head on our defense. And then the other thing I'd say is, where we've been really good is cutting down our live ball turnovers. And so we have 10 live ball turnovers tonight. That leads to 17 transition points for them. That allows them to separate as well. So not what we've seen in practice the last few days, but certainly not the performance we wanted to have. So thought we had been playing great. Our confidence was great. Obviously, didn't show up tonight.
The points, obviously, a low for the season, but offensive issues are not anything new for you guys. When the floor is low for your offense, how does that impact your thinking and decision-making in terms of game planning and how you guys have to put together a game plan.
Yeah, and that's something we've known all year, and why we put together a defense that generates a lot of turnovers, right? So we can score in transition and score off our defense. And tonight we turned them over 22 times, but only scored 6 points off those turnovers, right? And we on the other side of it, we had live ball ones. So to me, we've got to make aggressive defensive decisions to try to score in transition. And I felt like tonight, even when we did turn them over, our push and our pace wasn't as good. We looked a step slow. We looked not as energetic, not as enthusiastic for whatever reason. So we know what our challenges are and the things we need to overcome offensively. We need to be more stubborn to stay the course with everything that we do so that our offense can come around.
TJ, the physicality of the game on both sides. Both of you played physical, and for the most part, the rest let it go. Did that affect the guys?
I mean, we're used to the physicality in this league, so that's certainly not going to be an excuse. We play a physical brand of basketball for the most part, and so we know that's part of it. So if it impacted us, that's a shame, because I know how we practice and I know the habits we built. So that would speak more to our mental weakness, unfortunately, than the physicality of the game.
You've made comments this year that there's really there's not a lot of options for this team offensively to change how you guys do things. I mean, with that in mind, is there a way to avoid another night like this as postseason play approaches here?
Well, I'd say more than anything, we can't be a group that it wasn't our offense as much as how our offense impacted our psyche, right? So I get it. Guys play basketball. They like to see the ball go through the hoop. We've certainly had times that hasn't happened for stretches, and our defense and rebounding and effort carry us. To prevent it from happening again, I guess, we were, for whatever reason, we seemed to be out of sorts, attacking the zone. We didn't have the same aggressiveness we've had in practice, but we hadn't seen a zone in a little bit, teams switching defenses like that, and it put us on our heels. So credit to them for doing that, but we just got to be more intentional and more stubborn, and we got to be much better than that.
TJ, is tonight kind of an example of you get a little bit sideways in a game in this league, it can snowball. I mean, these guys went and won at Baylor and won convincingly. A lot of things can happen throughout the course of a season. Just if a little thing is off, it can snowball.
Yeah, I mean, they play really hard, and we knew that, from that's their culture and how they do things. They sprint the floor. They go the offensive rebounds to the glass, with force. So we know that they're a team that plays with a lot of effort. And, again, when shots aren't falling and they're the team that's seemingly playing harder, that's not a great combination for us. So the live ball turnovers, the rebounding, to get out-rebounded by 18, especially on our court, those are things that are just really out of character and disappointing. Thanks. Thank you.